All right. Good morning, all. Welcome to Coffee and Craps with Johnny over here from Pro Craps. Tough morning out there in the garage, man. We did our paycheck today, and it was kind of a rough go and a good go all at the same time. So I'll explain that to you in a minute. What happened? We'll do a little recap. But with that said, I see that we have Sideshow Gamble out here. Chris says, "Hey," from wherever he's at. Hey, all. Chris, good to see you. Glad you're safe and have the world's worst internet connection, it sounds like. So good to see you though, buddy. Hope all's going well. Hope travel was good. And yeah, time for you to get to work, I guess, right? So with that said, guys, let's get after it. Let's talk about a couple things here. Let me switch screens. And not that screen. We're doing WinCraps in a minute though, I promise. Let's do this. Let's talk about our paycheck. Paycheck, this is a weird one. Usually, and again, I think this is great that it's happening. I love this. Is one of my favorite strategies, by the way. We're playing the Southern Border. I love the strategy, right? Don't come. 3, 2, 3. The levels. This thing I've been playing for a long time, and it works well. Today's a really good example of kind of like the impetus behind the strategy. So I've told you this story before. When I was younger, growing up, when I was younger, a gambler, we would go to the casino, and we would like you guys. I'm not going to drive 2 hours to a casino and then drive right home in 10 minutes, right? And my wife, my parents were slot players, and they would play like camels. They play forever and ever and ever. And so I needed to devise ways to play that I could play on for a long, long time and not ever, A, worry, and B, not get bored. Like, win too fast or lose too fast, and you're kind of wandering the halls for 3-4 hours trying to make time pass. So you got to picture the days where it's $5 craps tables, or in earlier days, $3 craps tables, playing this strategy. At a $3 table, it's $9, it's $6, and it's $6, right? That's the bet sizes. You could even do it at 6, 3, and 6, right, as your bet sizes with $100 and play forever. Today's a good example. I played like 60-something or 70-something rolls in that second shooter. We ended up losing $1,000, right? Not the end of the world. Out of 5,000, it's $1,000 is a lot of money, but relatively speaking, for a $100 buy-in, that's about a 25-hour loss, right? That's not the end of the world. In all those rolls, and you're kind of going here and here and here, you're kind of grinding through it. There's a couple of nice home runs built into it. There's a couple of potential big losses built into it, but by and large, that strategy grinds really, really well. And if you hit it quick, our first shooter today, 2 quick ace deuces, and we're out of there with profit, right? So today we were 1 and 1, or 1 and 1. We won $600 in the first 2 seconds, and then we lost $1,000 over the next 80 shooters, right? So I think this strategy is one that deserves more time. Over time, this thing wins better for me than loses. But there are some great tweaks. People have been emailing me and texting me tweaks to it that they want to see done. Cool. I mean, I'm down for it, right? Friday might be a day where I just play the strategy out with some of the suggested tweaks. And we'll do a few different rounds of it with what folks are bringing me, and we'll try and improve the thing. Because again, I think the rhythm of it is good, generally speaking. But today, where you had a shooter who was actually pretty good, right? I lost today not because of sevens in the don't come, right? I lost today because I kept picking off my numbers. I was shooting numbers well enough that I would set a DC, knock it off, set a DC, knock it off. Well, against a good shooter, the strategy isn't going to be great. However, if we change the come rhythm, maybe it does become good. So let's think about that. Let's think about ways to tweak the rhythm of it and make it better. So I appreciate you watching that every day. I know there's a lot of talk out there in the craps world right now about levels. Everybody's mad because I think I'm running things at too high of a bet level. And remember, the point of that show, the point of the daily paycheck, is not to teach you how to play a strategy with your $500 buy-in. The point of that show is to simulate retirement, have enough money in the bankroll that I can regress bets down like you would like to be able to, and see what strategies can win over time where bankroll is not a concern. That's the thing, right? Other people, and I will do it too, are going to do lower bankroll strategies. What do you play normally? But it's different, right? Ed said it in his video yesterday. You go out there with $300, it's a whole different ballgame than buying in for even 1,000. You buy in for 1,000, you can go 110 and regress down. You buy in for 300, you're not going out there with 110, right? So your mindset changes with bankroll. So we're going to talk about that next week. Next week I really want to make a bankroll strategy week. I want to be next week all about bankroll. Money management on on the rack side, but really bankroll plays. I want to talk bankroll all next week. So that's that. What else is on tap here? Friday Night Fights. I got to talk to the guys, Sith Lord and Mad Dog. I'm sure that Sith Lord's in. I haven't talked to Mad Dog yet. Mad Dog apparently has had a fire in his house, so I'm not sure if he's able to play or not. So let's, prayers up to the man. Hope that everything's okay over there, but I don't know if he's able to play or not. I'll reach out to him separately and see. Book time for your Royal Rumble in a couple of weeks with Big AZ, and the Craps Nation tossing tourney is underway. We did a test run last night. We tried to get some technology tested out, because you got to have Troy from Point 7 Out is rewriting the official roll tracker to track the points, not just the rolls. And he wanted to do kind of a test run with a couple of us last night. We had some audio issues, so we'll try it again today. Probably you can watch for that, right? Troy will put it out there, and look for us to go live, not for real, just to practice and just kind of see if the technology works and how the viewer, or how the judge sees the rolls. And that's kind of what we're testing there. So, all right. That said, let's talk about that tourney and how it's going to work. So, if you want to be in it, again, what you do is you go to the Craps Nation Skype. If you don't have an invite to the Skype, let me know. I can invite you in. Once you're in the Craps Nation official Skype chat, then you're going to reach out to George from CY, and he'll get you into the rounds. We're working on a sign-up sheet to make that easier process, but for right now, that's the way to get in there. And the way it works is this: you're going to qualify yourself by throwing 3 shooters. Your best length of roll for 3 shooters gets you potentially into the top 32. The top 32 shooters then square off. They're going to play 2 rounds. Your best shot out of 2 rounds gets you into the Elite 8. At the Elite 8, it's actually you versus another person, and there's more put onto that. It's not just length of roll. Now we're going to count, the come out 7 counts, the come out craps counts against you. The ATS counts for you, the fire bet counts for you, repeaters count for you. All the good things get you extra points besides just your rolling. That's how the finals are going to work. So rules are published. I will give you a link to those rules here in a few days. We'll probably do a little show here to kind of kick it off and show you kind of maybe like a Monday or something. I'll dedicate Monday show to this so you can see it. Everybody's welcome. Whether your table is 6 foot long or 14 foot long like mine is, whether you're a par shooter, whether you're a chopper shooter, whether you're a random hucker, doesn't matter. You're invited in. Everybody's welcome to do this. I want, and George wants every angle, all shooter types. This is not a dice controllers only thing. It's not an invite only thing. Just get yourselves. If you want to do it, please. The more the merrier. Matter of fact, if a couple of random throwers get in here and go off and have some great rolls and win the thing, that'd be great. That would make it a very compelling tournament now, wouldn't it? We have lots of things to talk about. So if you want to be in it, please get on in it. So all that said, I want to get to the meat of the day. We have 45 minutes left, and I'm going to put my glasses on, and we're going to go to the computer, and we're going to talk about WinCraps a little bit. We've been doing some WinCraps work the last couple of days. Let me get over here and show you this. I've been doing WinCraps with you for a few days now, and we've covered some of the easy things, okay? Today we're going to cover one of the harder things, and this is one of the harder things that exist in WinCraps in specific and in programming in general, and that is this concept of variables, okay? So let me get my screen set up here. I'm going to get everything where I want it, and let's get this over here and this over here. And I'm going to use my other monitor as well. And we're going to talk about what variables are, because variables, I think, are one of the most misunderstood yet confusing pieces of coding. So let's go back here. I'm going to open up my browser, and I'm going to take you to a website called Replit. Give me a second here to get this thing loaded up, and I'm going to show you how variables work. Let's go create that. All right, let's go over here. I'm going to zoom way in, and I'm going to code for you in a language called JavaScript. And this, again, does not matter in terms of Crapsy, but it's going to be a good way for me to show you what variables are kind of in real time. And I'm going to type some code here on the left-hand side. And on the right-hand side, when I press this run button, it's going to show you what the result is. I'm going to teach you what a variable are. So a variable is just a it's kind of a, I'm going to say pointer, but it's really, it's a word. It's a word that represents a value. Okay. For example, we're going to say wife equals Kathy. That's my wife's name. Okay. And if I do a console log, now all console log is going to do is we're going to print the value of wife on the right-hand side. I'm going to press run. And you see over here, it says Kathy on the right side. That's I want to do this. I'm going to make this screen share so we don't get, there we go. It says Kathy over there on the right. So when I do variable, I say wife is Kathy. We log out our wife and it says that it's Kathy. The word wife represents the value Kathy. Now, if I screw up, right? Let's say we get into a big argument and Kathy divorces me, right? And we say wife equals nobody, empty string, right? Now I do a console log of my wife. It's going to have nothing. It's going to say Kathy is the first wife and the second wife is, there's a blank line here. There's nothing here, right? Matter of fact, I could say wife equals null. Null means none. There is no wife, right? It's actually a better way to look at that. So if I screw up, my wife goes away. The variable that represents who my wife is has changed. It started out as Kathy. Then we said we don't have a wife anymore, right? Now we're going to go ahead and get remarried. Now we say, okay, now my wife is now equal to Jen. You're so lucky, Jen. And if I console log my wife, you'll see that now it's Jen as I go here and run that. Okay, so what happened? We made a word called wife. We assigned it a value of Kathy, and you can see that it prints out Kathy. When we take the value and change it to something, I change it to nothing, to null. Null means nothing. The word wife, the variable named wife that represents the value means nothing. Then I reassigned it to Jen, and now I have a new wife. Okay, that's variables. Variables are just a word, in our case, wife, that represents some value that I can refer to later on. Okay, we use this to refer to things later on because it's nice to be able to use the word wife instead of having to remember the name or the value like this. So that's the reason for variables. Okay, in WinCraps, we use those like this. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to switch back to the WinCraps view over here. Let's go to, hold on a second. I got to get something changed. We're going to do this. I'm going to put the logo back up there so we can see it. All right, so in WinCraps, we use variables to signify points in time in the strategies. All right, so check this out. Let's go back to our mine strategy. And right now, if we look at how the mine strategy works the way that I wrote it yesterday, okay, we start out with our conditional. If we're initializing the script, first run through the script, we're going to say, yep, we're going to auto handle winning bets by saying same bet, take winnings. And then we're going to start out by betting a quarter on all the numbers, right? All the outside numbers, the 4, 5, the 9, and the 10. Then we say if the last roll was not a come out roll and none of our bets wins, we're going to add a quarter to all the bets. Then we say if any bet wins. Again, we're in these conditionals, right? If something happens, then do the work of regressing back down to base if anything wins. If any bet loses, we're gonna bump the bets up. I'm sorry, we're gonna go back down to 0. That's our current strategy. All right. I want to change that in a couple of ways. Okay. The first thing I want to do is change the $25 right here. This is like wife equals Kathy. That's an exact value, right? I want to change that right away. We're going to go ahead and make a variable here. And we're going to call the variable. What WinCraps does is it uses things called CheckStacks instead of variable. He calls them CheckStacks or CS, and there's 99 of them. So you can say CS1. I can't call this variable wife, or I can't call this variable amount. You use CS1, CS2, CS3. You have to name them that, but I can put a period and give it like a hint. So PS or CS1 dot base bet equals $25. And I do a colon at the end of the line to say that I'm done with the line of code. So now I've made a variable called CS1 base bet, $25. So instead of saying bet on this next line, instead of saying bet $25, I'm going to say bet this, CS1 base bet. And this is going to give us a lot of power. Watch what's going to happen. CS1 base bet. There, I'm going to add CS1 base bet to the things. I'm going to bet CS1 base bet on the wins. I'm going to go back to base on the losses, right? What I've done here is I've said, well, we're going to use CS1 base bet instead of $25 for all these values. So let me do a quick check of the script. It's running well. We're going to go active. We're going to activate it and watch what happens out here. It goes $25 bets. You can see those bets are 25 bucks. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to check this out. We're going to go ahead and let's get a point of 6. We're going to roll another 6 and they're going to go up by the base bet, 25 bucks. Every time we don't win, it goes up by 25 bucks. Okay. And we're going to get 7'd out and we'll start over again. 7 out, and they should go away. All right. Let's change it. Let's get a new game going. I'm going to reset everything. Game new. Save it now. Yes, we'll save it now. No. Okay. Yes, stop auto bank. Let's change our base bet to 100. Let's play this at the black level. $100. That's all I changed. We're going to activate our script and watch what happens. All the bets now go out there at 100 bucks because we changed our base bet level to be 100. Every time anything happens, it's going to use the base bet as the reason for it. Okay, so here we go. 2, 4, 6 comes out. If we roll like a yo or something, a 5, 6 yo, they go up by 100 bucks. We roll a yo again, goes up by 100 bucks. We catch a win on like a 9, and they go back down to base. Right? So a variable in this case here really helps us out. It gives us a ton of power, right? It makes it easy when you're writing your own betting scripts to set a value like, hey, I want to do this at the $5 level or the $10 level or the $100 level or whatever you want, okay? I change it here, it changes it and uses that value everywhere. That's the power of variables. And again, in WinCraps, they call them CheckStacks, and it's always CS and a number from 1 through 99. That's how we set them. And then we use those things throughout the program. You can, again, CS dot, and then you can give it a nice readable name so you don't forget what the heck it is. That's how I do this, okay? I'm going to make a second variable because, as you know, when I play the mind strategy, one of my rules in the mind is I never go over 5 units, right? I will level those, like right now, matter of fact, if we go out here and we go 11, or I guess 10's a win. If I go 11, 11, 11, this will go forever. Watch this, 400, 500, 600, 700, it'll go forever, right? This is the danger of the Wayland ladder strategy, right? We're gonna level these bad boys up until you get a win, and you're, you know, it's scary to be up that high, right? Let's put 2 rules in, right? I want to, number 1, never go above level 5. And number 2, after a win on level 5, we go back to level 1. Let's put those 2 rules in place right now. We're going to need variables to do it. So what I'm going to do is make a new variable up here. I'm going to call this one CS2 because remember, they have to be CS1, 2, 3, 4. It has to be done that way. I'm going to call this next variable level though. CS2 level equals 1. All right. And again, we're going to start out by betting our base bet on all the numbers. The first thing doesn't change. If the last roll was not a come out roll, right, and no bets win, we're going to add 1 or add CS base bet to the level. We're going to basically level up if we don't win, okay? The next one says if any bet wins, we're going to have to make a little change there though, okay? And I'm going to actually make this on multiple lines. So I want you to be able to read this a little clearer, okay? So if last roll was not a come out roll, and no bets win, we're going to add 1. What did I say was going to be the rule? We're never going to go past level 5, right? So what I'm going to say is another condition. We're going to say and CS2.level is less than 5. So we're only going to do this thing. We're only going to add to our numbers if our level is less than 5. And right now, the level is set to 1. Okay, let's deactivate and reactivate our script. Okay, I want to make sure I didn't break anything. So I'm going to go out here as a coder, go out here, and we're going to run. Okay, we're going to go 6.5 yo. It's going to keep on adding up. Keep on adding up. We're at 5, right? It's going to go past. Now it's at $600. Why? We haven't yet taught our app how to increase the level, right? So our next move is this. We're going to add 1 to the bets, and we're going to say add 1 to CS2.level. So now we're going to be changing our logic. Look at this. If it's not a come out roll, we don't win, and we're less than level 5, add 1 to our bets, and then increase the level. So at some point, CS2.level is going to become 5, and it's not going to go up any higher. Okay, let's test that. Let's activate, inactivate, come out here, and we're going to be at level 2. Let's go ahead and simulate a yo. Goes to level 3, level 4, level 5. Now, this next roll is going to be here. It wasn't a come out roll. No bets are going to win. We're going to be at level 5, so it should not do this. This is going to say only do this work if we're less than level 5. So we're at level 5. Oh, I don't want to come back. Okay, let's do a yo, and we should stay at level 5 forever. It stays at level 5 forever. So we've used this level variable to sort of let ourselves only go to a certain point, and then we're going to stop. Okay? Now, we have to reset things. So we're going to say this here. Now we're going to say if any bet wins. Now, our next condition was if any bet wins, we were going back to base, right? We were saying on all the wins, go back to base. I'm playing this thing aggressively, the John way. We're going to say if any bet wins, okay, and our level is greater than 5. Okay, so we're going to say if any bet wins and CS2.level is greater than or equal to 5. Then we move our bet down. See that? We changed it. We're saying if the bets win and our level is greater than 5, so we take that level 5 hit, go back to base. Now we're going to go reset the level, CS2.level is, oh geez, spell it right, Johnny. Level equals 1, and then bet the base bet. So we're going to reset the level to 1, move the base bet down, and start over again. If every bet loses, so we're at level 3 or 4 and we lose, again, we're going to reset the level, CS2.level equals 1, and then bet the base bet. So now we've used variables to do 2 things. One is check our level. So as we win, we bump the level. As we lose, we go down to level 1. As we win at level 5, we go down to level 1. And then we bet always the base bet, whatever that value is. Now it's 100, but I can run this strategy at the $5 level if I want to. We can make a $5 bet instead of a $100 bet. This lets you test out your strategies at the big boy level and at regular person level, right? Let's go ahead and check our syntax, make sure we got it right. We are good. Let's turn it off. We will say yes, we're going to initialize it. I'm going to turn all the bets off. We're going to just force a 7 to happen. Okay, we're level 1. Let's test it out. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's catch a point. We'll make a point of 8. We're going to go 5 yos again. 6.5, level 2, level 300, level 4 for 400, level 5 for 500. We're going to keep on not winning. We're not winning. We're not winning. And our bets are not going up. We've capped it at level 5. Now we're going to catch a win. We're going to go ahead and roll a 6, 4, 10. This should reset the bets to level 1. 6, 4, 10. They go back to $100. And we'll go again. We'll do a 6. 6. We're going to go back up to level 5. Now watch. We're level 4. Let's get a win. Take a 3, 2, 5. We win, but it stays at level 4. It's the same bet. It's the same bet. It's the same bet. We're going to grab a yo. It's going to go level 5. We're going to grab a 6. We're still at level 5. It's not going down. we grab a 325, and now we go back to level 1, right? And there is Waylon's mind the way I played it in the garage last week or 2 weeks ago. This is exactly how I played it. Bump to level 5, stay level 5 till you get the 1 hit, and then go running for cover, right? That, my friends, is how we use variables to make decisions in our code. Now we've got some great stuff. We have all these great conditions, right? We're using ifs and thens. If all these things are true, then we do this work. And I've used variables in there to help me track things as we go. I'm using a level variable to know how high my bets are, and I can regress in process, all right? Let's have some fun. Let's go ahead and run this thing out. I know what's gonna happen because I've done this before, but right now, let's do a game new. I will save my script, yes. I will not save my session. We're gonna say, okay, we're buying in for 5,000 bucks. Let's run it. Let's run it in hyperdrive and see what happens. I think I'm gonna check I think I'm in the dice roll file. I think I'm using this. Yep, we're using my rolls. This is my 5,000 logged rolls. Let's run it and see what happens to it. Oh boy, and I've done the Vince thing. I've let it go negative, so we can see what happens. This will make more sense tomorrow. Look at the big swings that we're on. We're minus $47,000. We lost 50K. Doing it this way. But at our most, we had doubled our money. Right? Yes, we'll stop. At one point, we had doubled our money. Come on, say yes. To 9,700 bucks. But overall, we lost 50K. Now that's going to change tomorrow. Okay, when I run this again tomorrow, it's going to change. That was a whole lot of big swings and misses because we put no caps on it. Right? We didn't say every time you win 500 bucks, restart. Tomorrow, I want to get into the idea of let's do this with a bankroll management strategy. Let's say tomorrow we're going to say, you know what? Every time we win 500, let's walk away from the table. Let's rebuy in and try it again. And then we're going to see how many times can I win 500 versus losing 5,000. And then we're going to go ahead and see what if I went to win 1,000 and my loss limit was 2,000. We're going to change our win goals and loss limits again with variables. So tomorrow we're going to do some bankroll management. And we're going to make Victor very happy because Victor and I disagree on some things. I like to go 10% win goal, 100% loss when I'm doing a paycheck type of thing. Victor likes to go 50% win goal, 50% loss, right? And I think there's a way for us to go 20% win, 80% loss. We can kind of tweak the numbers and run against the same set of rolls and find out which one of those, where's the butter zone in here for this thing. And again, it's a set of known rolls. It's not a set of random rolls. I can change it again to go random, but that's it, guys. That is a way that we use variables to help ourselves in code. And I'll repeat it again. Our two variables are the base bet and the level, our bet level. Base bet is 100. Our level is 1. That means how many $100 units would you have out there? And there it is. That is the answer. And by the way, on this line of code here, we're just add 1 and increase the level, right? We could increase the level. I'll put a comment here. And we could have said bet cs1 dot base bet times level on by 4 by 10 place 5 and place 9. This line of code, bet the base bet times the level, is the same as me just adding 1. I'm adding a base bet, like that's laddering up, and then increasing the level. I could do this instead. It would accomplish the same thing. You can do the same thing in multiple ways. One by just adding to your bets, like we did here. The other way, resetting your bets with a multiplier. It's the same thing, right? Adding 1 when I'm at level 2 makes it level 3, or I can say base bet $100 times level 3, cs2.level, would be the same thing. So you can approach that either way. All right, and there's your WinCraps. There's your WinCraps lesson for Wednesday. That's how we do variables. So hope that was helpful. Hope that was really helpful. I think one of my favorite things to talk about is variables, because variables in programming, that's where the power is, right? It's the if then else, the logic. The variables let you kind of move things around and change things. So Victor, again, you're saying, Victor, you're assuming, again, 50% win goal, 50% loss, 50% press. Some strategies don't have pressing built in, right? So this strategy, again, we could look at it, right? We could totally do more stuff in this strategy and say not go up by a full level, but go up by a half level. There's so much you can do with variables. Again, this one here is exactly the way that Waylon wrote it with my one tweak, okay? You can do anything you want to with WinCraps. Any strategy you want. You can test pressing your bets by 1 unit, 2 units, half units, full press. You can do all the things. You can do all, now you have the power. You've got variables, you've got conditionals, and you understand the logic of how WinCraps processes all the code after a roll's been had. So I think we're getting there. I think we're getting there. Tomorrow and Friday we'll finish this thing out. I actually had a talk. Let's go back over here. I had a long talk last night. Not a long talk, but a talk with Steen. Steen's the author of WinCraps. I was writing him an email. I was asking him how to do a thing I was kind of stuck on. He called me like 10 o'clock. We talked for about half an hour. He's going to come on, by the way. We're going to come on together, and I think he's going to help me to teach this a little bit. He's going to watch my videos for the week. We're going to build a strategy together. I'm not sure if it's going to be on Friday. It may be on Friday. It may be next week. But we're going to build a strategy side by side. We're going to pair program and build something complex and talk through it as we go. I may have him help me build out the Moonbow. I've already built it once. I want to see how he does it. We can build it out together. And I think he's going to be a regular with regards to kind of working through us with some WinCraps things and how do we read the reports better, because he wrote the whole thing, right? I'd like to get his input on it. I'm also planning to do this type of coding with you every week. So what I'll likely do is on Mondays, when I first start the first paycheck for a strategy, I'll run the paycheck out there. We're going to come in here. I'm going to code it up in WinCraps, and you can watch the WinCraps code for that strategy as well. And we'll have them both for the week. So I'll give it to you right away so you can play it yourself and do your tweaks in WinCraps if you want to. So that's the plan moving forward. So I think that's really all I got planned for today. I wanted to kind of get through variables and fix that code up a little bit for us. I guess I'll leave it here to you all. What questions do you have? I'll put my glasses on. I'll read the chat here and see, are there questions about WinCraps or what I'm doing or in general? Otherwise, I do have a job to get to today. So let's see. Jen is asking, you must be talking about, yes, you can round up to the proper unit. Maybe you're asking somebody else that question, but yes, WinCraps can round up. In fact, WinCraps works a lot like Crapsy in this respect, where there's a setting in there. Let me go to it. Hold on a second. I do want to show you this. Go to WinCraps again. WinCraps. There. Setting, game, configuration. Can you see this over here? I think it's under bets. Where is it? Minimum bet, maximum bet, $1, and there's a. Where is the setting for it? Damn it! I gotta find a setting. Working, come on, oh, no bets required. Big 6 and big 8. No corner bets. There is a setting in here. Where is it? Where is it? Shoot. There's a pay to the penny option. Is it under checks? I've got to find the damn setting now. Shoot. It is in here somewhere, Jen. I don't know where it is. Colors, shit. Bankroll. I thought it was under the bet screen. Minimum bet $1. I think when you get down below and do improper bets, I think it'll automatically do the penny thing. Shit, where is it? There's a setting in here somewhere. I should know this, where it is. It's definitely in here where it'll automatically round your bets up to the right number to make them proper bets, not to the penny. And oh, maybe it's under payoffs. No, that's this thing. I know it's in here. I just don't know where it is. I'm so sorry. I should have been more prepared for that question. It's definitely in here. There's an option for it. Options. Anyway, if you have it set to pay by the penny, it will pay you like Bubble Craps. If you have it set to not, it'll round the bets up automatically to a proper unit. So when I can say things like bet $25 on the 6, it'll automatically make it a quarter. So you can even see that if I take a quarter bet and move it to the 6, it'll make it $30. It automatically does that. Even in here, if I say increase bet by 1 unit in a script, it will automatically make that a proper bet, unless you have it set to pay by the penny. And I forget where that damn setting is, but there's a setting for that that covers it. So sorry about not knowing the answer off the bat there, but that's definitely a thing. And HyperPress looks at as a unit bet is like this on a $25. So in WinCraps, it considers a unit the next closest unit to what table minimum is. So I think that's the way that it's coded in here. So if the table minimum is $5, it considers a unit $5, not a betting unit. So what you have to do in your scripts, if you're coding out a script, is say what your betting unit is, and then you go up by one of those units in your script. So you have to code that up if you need to be more than or less than what table minimum would be. David, yes, I can export files. You can import your own roles from Excel. You can export files as well. So yeah, I can do a run with like 100,000 roles, and then I can export out that set of roles. If you want me to do that, drop me an email and I will do that for you. I think it's good. I like to actually have the same set of roles. I really like working with either 10,000 of my own roles or 5,000 or an RNG that generated a number of roles and then using that same role set every single time. Like that's how you dial a strategy in. If it loses $5,000 and you can tweak it to where it loses only 1,000 or where it wins a little bit, that's you're working it to the known outcomes. But then you can take that against a new set of outcomes and see if your tweaks worked against a different set of outcomes. That's how you do this over time. You need to kind of get those multiple data sets. So yeah, David, if you want, drop me an email and I'll be happy to export those and give them to you for sure. All right, other things for me in here, anything that I need to worry about? Can I do a percent of CS1? Yes, absolutely. You can, I'll show you. Let's go back to WinCraps. Give me a second here, WinCraps. Where's my thing? There it is, sorry about that. Yeah, so we're saying add CS1 base bet. I can say add CS1 base bet times 0.5 to those bets. So I can do a half of a level. If I do that, let's active and active. We'll say yes. Now we're going to catch a point of, let's say, 6. I don't know where that came from. And let's go with an 11, and they should be up by 150, by 200, by 250. So I can increase the CS level by whatever I want to, by a quarter, whatever I want, right? So you have complete control over that level. No question. You have all the math available to you. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Mac. Yeah, let me go back to me again. I'm sorry, I'm bouncing around screens a lot, but it's important to answer questions. Mac wants me to remind you, and it's important to do so. I didn't put it on the front screen because I forgot. I'm sorry. Craps Chat, you know, my favorite show is on Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific, right after the Eagles kick the crap out of the 49ers, I think is when that show's going to be on. So yeah, that'll be great. All right, so there's that. Jen also asks, or Nemo, I should have a name for my subbies. What do you mean by that? Like you all? Is that what you're saying? Cajun, I did not put the Friday Follies out there yet. I haven't decided what I'm going to do for Friday Follies yet. I got to think of a strategy to run. So when I think of the strategy, I'll put the thumbnail out. I gotta come up. Friday Follies is actually it's kind of funny because it's supposed to be a stupidly fun day, like something crazy. It ends up being more work to do Friday Follies than any other day. Even this stuff here, because I can plan this out and I can plan out my paycheck stuff and I can just, hey, let's roll, whatever. But finding something insane to do is actually not that easy. That's why I tend to repeat and go back to like the Marching Soldier and stuff like that, because those are just crazy fun things. So I got to think of one for Friday. And if you have any ideas, let me know. I'll run something nuts for you all on Friday. Is that it? I think that might be it. All the questions are answered. All the PCs are addressed. You all are here. I'm going through the list one more time just to make sure. I think we're good. Yeah, skill. Is this my hookup? Yes, right. Is this my hook to get you into coding classes? You know what? I will tell you this, by the way. I know you're joking with me here, but I got to tell you this. This is a true thing. One of our subscribers, Melodic XP, came to a coding class. He came to our 101 class, which is designed for like absolute, like I've never touched a computer before, super basic stuff. I can get you all into that class for half price. It's normally $100. I can get you in there for $50 if you want to do it. I think actually for $25. I think I get you 75% off. If you want to take the basic coding class, let me know. I get you in there for a huge discount. We do it one Saturday every month. You can always come in and do it. And it's a good chance to see a couple of things. One, how I teach for real. Two, is computer programming a thing for you? Maybe it's a thing you would like or not like. And if you want to come to school at my school, right, I have a small one, but I have a discount that I can offer. It's not huge, but it helps a little bit. There's also scholarships that are available. If you're in any sort of underserved community, if you're a member of any underserved community, we have scholarships available. That's what we do. We are trying to diversify tech with our company, so with our school. So if you're interested at all, I don't ever promote this kind of stuff. If you're interested at all in learning programming from me and my colleagues or at my school or what it's all about, please contact me. I'm telling you right now, tech isn't going away. We need coders. We need people in cybersecurity. We need people in networking. That's never going away. That industry is it's literally going to be like where everybody's working in 5 years, right? So if you're interested in a career switch or doing something different, get with me on it, right? Get with me on it. I'll talk you through, not even just my school, any school. I can give you all the advice. I've been through this for 100 years now. So please use me for that resource. Anyway, there it is, guys. Waylon, I'll leave you with this. I'll leave you with this comment. I know you're talking to somebody else about this, but I'm going to put this up. If you can't win, end of story. Absolutely. Whether you're a random shooter or a controlled shooter or an experienced shooter or a DI, whatever you want to call yourself, if you're not rolling numbers, you ain't winning, right? I cost myself money today because I was too good of a shooter, right? Can't shoot, can't win. Can't shoot sevens, can't win in a don't strategy. So there it is. That's it. Waylon, thanks for the ending comment there. I got to go to work all 9 o'clock. As always, love y'all. God bless all of you. 35 people still here watching today. We had about 45 earlier. It's fantastic, man. The community's growing. It's strong. It's awesome. I will see you again tomorrow for the next paycheck. And until then, have a blessed Wednesday, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.